We're not sure if Kathy's going to be here or not.
You got 3 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
How about Bill?
No, he's in Montana.
He's in Montana?
He's in Montana.
Oh, no. 3 minutes warning.
Okay, it's us.
Yeah.
I have tattoos, watch out. I think Kathy was
I'm sorry you didn't want
Kathy
to.
was
Should we want to get some armor for the police, Jay?
Why not?
Jeremy, did I hear you say correctly that you don't think Kathy's going to be here tonight?
Yes. Yes, you heard me correctly.
Okay, then I will cede my time back because my question was going to be to Kathy about the status of the community center. And nobody seems to know, and I was told to ask her.
Well, there she is.
Oh, okay, then I don't cede my time.
We made that by mere second.
You think we're gonna turn around and go out?
We were so close to having an easy meeting until you walked in.
Sir, I speak to Kathy.
I could not listen to that. You got it now.
The 18th Amendment strikes again. Backwards. In Woodstock, yes.
So how was it?
You're just being fashionable. Okay, I think we've come to that blessed moment. And so I'll open this August 19, 2014 meeting of the Woodstock Town Board and call it to order, and we will proceed to publicly heard.
Kenneth Churchill?
Please pass a copy to Bill, please.
Sure.
Copy to press. Hello, my name is Kenneth Churchill. Third Amendment to Town Resolution to set aside 5 to 8 acres of land for homeless ownership. Honorable Town Board members, we, the supporters of land ownership for homeless people, move to amend the request of 5 to 8 acres of land to 1 acre of land. We further amend this request of social experiment to 1 acre, 25 tents, exclusively for American veterans of the United States military. It is the hope of our group that if this experiment did succeed in the assessment of society, then all homeless veterans of the United States could be served by the same operational plan. It is also the hope of our group that if American veterans were to be helped by this plan, then at a later date, in increments, all homeless people of non-veteran status could then be helped by the land ownership model. Gardens are recommended. Is there an American veteran here tonight that would stand up for veterans?
Yes.
Charlie, do you think, in your opinion as a veteran, that...
No, whoa.
I'm sorry.
That's not how we conduct this.
Okay. Oh, so it could be a fast question.
Major.
Charlie was going to be asked if, in his opinion, that it would help veterans, that this experiment in Woodstock would help homeless veterans here in Woodstock. And he said yes, so then I will enter it into the record that Charlie has stood up for American veterans, and that he has said yes. In closing, Mahatma Gandhi said, whatever you do in life will be insignificant, but it is very important that you do it because no one else will. No one else in this country will help American veterans or grandmothers or grandfathers or aunts or uncles or cousins or brothers or sisters that are dying on the streets. Thank you.
Ira Short?
gonna repeat every time something comes up with zoning about markup and edit. It's
Well, this is
very,
ethics, not zoning. But go
that,
ahead.
well, right. Anytime there's a law change and something comes before the public, in this case, it's going to the ethics first. It's very difficult to follow what you've done here, Jeremy. I know in words you put, you know, that this replaces, but it's not enough. It's very confusing when we've got A, B, C, D, and the original's got 1, 2, 3, 4. The best thing is markup edit, because it's very clear, the, you know, the strike-throughs and the colors and, you know, what you did. So let me just point out one that I found extremely confusing, and I realize that it's not coming to the public yet, but you know I'm going to read it.
Well, when it comes to the public, it will be marked up.
It will be marked up.
Of course.
Okay, well then why
Well,
isn't
so
it
far we're
marked,
just
why
sending
isn't
it
it
to the
marked up
ethics
then
board.
to the ethics board? I mean, they're gonna find it confusing.
No, I don't
To
think so.
figure
They've
out-
they've got themselves pretty conversant with the law. I don't think so. If they request a marked up copy, I'll give them one.
Okay, all right. Well, then there are also some things in here that are really confusing that have nothing to do with markup edit, because of what you said. When you talk about something being replaced by 7 and 8, and then you say 7 and 8 are deleted, that's a little confusing as to what you're doing with number 7 and 8. So, and then there's other things in here, I mean, that's more about content, about a paragraph replacing another one, but it's not even the same subject. So I found that in here, that was very confusing. So as long as you're gonna do markup edit,
Sure.
you know, I would be very happy with that. So,
I was thinking of you, Iris, believe me.
but if you want me to point out some of the very confusing that have nothing to do with it,
Please.
you know, I'll do it right after the meeting.
Thank you.
Michael, take that.
Hi, my name is Michael Freeman, Jeremy Paycott. I have 2 pieces of literature I'd like to share with the town board. I'm an American newsman. The first package of information I'm going to give to the elder town board statesperson, and I'm going to give a copy to the woman deputy town supervisor. Okay, very briefly, the related
Just
information
chop
I
it over
just
here, right?
the related information I just gave the town board members is to this statement today. Today being August 19, 2014, Tuesday night at 7:07 p.m. I thank the town board. My name is Michael Freeman Paycott. The scandalous Ricochet gang of Woodstock has reached an all-time low of running Hitler-style propaganda on the streets in a criminal attempt to discredit a good key government witness as a quote-unquote child molesting Jew boy gay. These untruths spoken, these lies spoken by members of the Ricochet gang are obviously meant to incite hate in this loved town of Woodstock. Sowing the seeds of discontent and misinformation is the obvious style of a corrupt, drug-running CIA covert-assisted cover-up goon squad. The Federal Bureau of Investigation do take notice of felony crime, hate inciting, riot inciting, false bomb scare activity of Ricochet gang on streets. They all amount to narco-terrorism. My name is Michael Paycott. I'm an ex-Marine Good Conduct Medal awardee. Thank you.
Randy Steele.
Hi, first I hope that the town board will share in expressing with me our condolences to former town secretary Angela Sweet. I was informed that her mother died this last weekend. Father died. I'm sorry, I was told wrong. But I think condolences in order.
Absolutely.
Secondly, I wish to thank the gentleman who allowed me to take his time to ask this question, and this question is specifically for Kathy Magarelli. It is now after the Woodstock Volunteers Day, and those of us who work at both the TV station and who, during the inclement weather, use the community center for our recreational groups, are waiting to hear exactly what the status is right now of the refurbishment of the community center. There is a rumor going around that all of a sudden somebody found out that it would be cheaper to do the construction on the community center when the weather is good, rather than being up to our tuchuses in snow. And that as such, the rumor continues that the refurbishment of the community center is going to be put off until next spring.
Not true.
Okay, well,
Not that I heard.
that's what I'm hearing. Well, that's why I'm asking, so that those of us who use the community center for various purposes can make plans. I'd certainly like to hear some clarification on what the current schedule is with the community.
I heard nothing of that. We're waiting for the engineers to give us the final bidding documents, which they promised would be ready this Friday. As far as I know, once we get them, we will have a special meeting, because otherwise we'd have to wait, a few weeks, and go out to bid for the community center. My hope is that we would start as soon as the bids come in, and see who bids and proceed. I would think by October we should start. I haven't heard of any changes. This is all rumor as far as I heard.
It's going to start this fall, yes.
Yeah, and then we need to really be finished before summer rec next June. So, we'd like to be finished sooner, but, we have to be finished before summer rec starts. So there's no way we would wait till the spring, because that would just bring us right into summer rec next year. And that's not what we want to do, so.
Well, these are the sort of rumors that get started when there's no information. And for the past couple of weeks, while we are scrambling on various issues to try to set up things to replace the community center if it's not available, having current information helps. So if we're still looking at possibly sometime in October or something, sooner than later, then at least that's
I
something.
mean, I
we
call
can
the
all go by.
engineers, or Jeremy, or both of us together, call at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, to find out when those bidding documents are gonna be in. So, they keep telling us they'll be in real soon. So that's where we're at. As soon as we get them, we'll have a special meeting and go out to bid. And then hopefully within 30 days, which is what, we have to allow, we should have some bids come in and we can open them up and get started.
Well, I certainly know firsthand about engineers and contractors' delays. We're experiencing that a lot ourselves, so that's very understandable.
We're all set, our architects are set, everything's pretty much a go, we're just waiting for this last piece now.
Okay then, well,
So
that's an
I mean,
answer.
it's always interesting to hear rumors that have
Brandy,
absolutely
call me
no
tomorrow.
ground in reality.
Well, there are certainly plenty of rumors to fill in for reality, when the reality is absent.
Shouldn't the plural of tuchus be tuchai?
I don't know, I would think you'd be the expert on that.
Whoa, that
All right, thank you.
was good. Mike Darcy? Oh, yeah. Mike. No, I'm sorry, I forgot Eric Hall. I am so sorry. Eric, you want to speak? Sorry, Mike. You're next.
I'm cool. My name is Eric Homeland, and I would like to speak. I've sent letters to everyone, I believe, and I'd like to specifically clarify my call for a new vision in relation to our DEP lands. And since I'm at the graciousness of Nancy taking her place, I want to make it very clear this is in the context of no hunting on the Yankeetown Pond property, but I think it would behoove the town board to enlarge their vision so that they're making that decision in the context of what might be possible on all of our DEP lands. We've actually had some conversation over the years with DEP personnel about our parcel up in Mink Hollow. And it's usually in an informal context where we run into somebody having a picnic and their decision makers at DEP, and they seem to be thrilled with the idea of, really, we could have children running around here, and we'll help you build a kiosk. And they seem to be very open to ideas. And sure, there's this momentum that they have all these unified rules for state land and DEP, and therefore it makes everything very simple and the same sign. But that does not serve this town. This board has the power to decide, very simply, 3 people, decide, no, we want a town-wide recreational park system. No hunting, no trapping, hiking only, picnicking. We can give out the phone number at the local Chamber of Commerce of how you call the DP to get your number. You can do it online. We give the website. You have to get your little card before you go. Everybody can do that. It can be a very open, peaceful, nonviolent, 5,000 acres in the midst of 287,500 acres of state land that are open to hunting. So this concept that hunting and hiking mix, I propose, is a hunter's view of reality. And we're getting a lot of that in reference to Yankeetown Pond. I understand that there's a lot of pressure there to mix the two. Which is logical. From a hiker's point of view, hunting and hiking don't mix. So anyway, I leave you with that. I request we make that decision in the context of what's really possible in relation to DEP lands in Woodstock. Thanks.
Mike Darcy.
Hi everybody, I'm Mike Darcy from Roco. Some of you know me. We started a program back in February, and I wanted to sort of give you an update on where that's at, working with the town and Woodstock Transition and the Environmental Commission. So I give you a packet of information. The first one is basically a flyer that we created to inform the public of what the 10% challenge is and what the program is that we're promoting. The next one sheet is an update and progress report. So I want to just take a moment and just explain what that challenge was again, for those who didn't know. The 10% challenge is a call to make 30 homes within the town of Woodstock more energy efficient. Out of the 2,946 homes, we would like to see 295 of those receive a free or reduced cost energy audit. And out of those, have 30 homes be retrofitted for energy efficiency through the NYSERDA Home Performance with Energy Star program. So an update on where we're at by the numbers. The total number of residents in the program to date are 61. That is up from 40 in June. The number that have received a free or reduced cost, that have had an approval for a free or reduced cost energy assessment is 58. The number of assessments have been completed are 43, and that's up from 36 in June. Work approved is 4, and that's up from 1 in June. 2 customers are non-responsive, 1 customer was ineligible, and the commercial side of things through Courtney Strong Inc., there are two. One is a not-for-profit and one is a small business within town that are going to be going through this energy efficiency program. And we've also done 13 events so far, including meetings and actually giving a workshop on residential energy efficiency. The last one being on the 15th at the community center, and we thank you for accommodating us during on that. It was attended, well attended by a total of 3 people. So there is some room to improve on that. I understand that it's August, and it's the summertime, and everybody goes away. I do have some suggestions moving forward that maybe we should address. Maybe promoting it more on the town's website. I've gone ahead and created a Facebook page on behalf of the town. I'm really simply waiting for the okay to say go live with it. I have marketing materials in here that we've created based on the program between members of the Woodstock Transition and the Environmental Commission, specifically Gay, who has done an amazing job with the step-by-step guide. And that's really it. I just wanted to come and give you an update, and hopefully I'll give you an update every few months or so like that until we reach our goals. So we're really got a great start, and I hope to keep it going with a little bit more effort.
One of the problems we ran into when we were working with Transition Woodstock and the Environmental Commission on this, we ran about I guess, we were involved in about a half dozen meetings, and I think we got more than 3 people out to these meetings, so I think we're probably a little better on attendance. But at the end of the process, and I think we're probably down through number 9, is when we sort of had a checkpoint meeting and said, well, we really don't know what's happened. I mean, the whole idea of Transition Woodstock was going to be to follow up with the people that went to the meetings, made sure they filled out the forms, got their energy audits, and really sort of worked their way through the process.
Sure.
And on one hand, we really didn't get a sharing of the specific names from Rockville that were collected at the meetings. On the other hand, we didn't collect the names at the meetings ourselves, and so, also the individuals really weren't comfortable, calling people up and saying, you really ought to move on this.
So what we did to accommodate that need, and I don't know if you remember correctly or not, but what I did was I created a Google Doc that's shareable, right? So it's shareable within everybody that was on that steering committee. So it's a Google Doc that has everybody that's going through the program that we have the ability to track on. It also has notes on when we've made those phone calls and where they're at in the program. So that's something that I'm definitely trying to address. And in fact, just today, because I went and uploaded all the new numbers, actually updated that. So it's great, and I know that Julie Last is moving forward with her program, and a couple of other people are really excited about moving forward. Stan up in Colebrook is another one, and so we are helping people, and I would be happy to reshare that information with you if that's possible. There's no personal information in there, it's just who the customers are, and share those with our energy advocates here in the town.
Yeah, I mean, this is really a Transition Woodstock program.
Sure.
And I think they kind of got a little discouraged. And then, of course, other things blew up in August, and they're involved.
We reconnected with Kirk. He's of the opinion that we're ready to move forward.
Okay.
Once August is over and we get some momentum back, we're good to go.
Yeah, because we really need to, I mean, this is a terrific program. I mean, I've had the assessment. Well, I got this folder, a DVD, and so on, sitting on my desk and saying, no, I really ought to do something with that.
Sure.
Someone called me up and said, hey, why don't we do something with it? I probably would, but again, there's a dozen other things sitting on my desk.
Well, as the regional energy coach for the Mid-Hudson Valley, which is what I am, and that's my title at ROCO, so I work with municipalities in 673 zip codes.
Yeah.
So my job, my responsibility is to sit down with you once you've had your audit done and you have a report, and you give me a call and say, Mike, help me go through this program and help me process. I'm here for you at any time, and obviously you know how to get in touch with me.
Yeah.
So anytime that you're ready to move forward, I'm here to help you.
Okay.
All right? And you've been updated.
All right, thanks very much, Michael.
Thank you.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. So, I'd like to offer, Jay, you have a resolution you want to offer. You go to the bottom of the agenda.
Announcements.
Oh, announcements, I'm sorry. You have an announcement?
They're blank.
Two things. I'd like to personally congratulate the people who live in the building just past the movie theater and the pizza parlor for their extraordinarily beautiful, I'm not being facetious. I love the painting that has been done on that building. I think it's extraordinary and wonderful, and I would like to see a lot more buildings like that in Woodstock. It really is a joy. But that's my ability on this bully pulpit to run off with the mouth. However, this is very important. Tomorrow evening, there will be a free concert at Maverick featuring Mark Black, John Sebastian, Happy Trown, Peter Schickley, Amy Fraden, Diana Olay, Pete Levin, Eric Parker, and Michael Esposito. This is being put on by Mark Black as an attempt to increase awareness and help for communities that have not yet signed on to some sort of, or zoned some sort of fracking. One of the features of the evening will be that the audience will be encouraged to sing a song that Mark has written and which will be recorded there, and which Mark will be using in his future and other places. I urge everybody not to miss it, a free concert with all of the top people in the music world around here attending.
What
What?
time?
Pardon?
What time?
Oh, you need to know what time. It's 7 o'clock. And it's free, and I'm sure everybody knows where the Maverick is. It's our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful music venue. The acoustics there are terrific. That's my announcement.
Oh, that's it. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you wanted to read your resolution at the top. Should we just
Yeah.
keep it in the same order, or do you want to read it
Yeah,
now?
no, I'd like to do that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Offer.
Here we go. Curiously, a number of people have been asking me in the past few days about what I'm about to read. Whereas the images of police armed with machine guns mounted on mounted vehicles, armored vehicles, with personnel fully clothed in body armor, equipped with gas masks and tear gas, have been used against the citizens of Ferguson, Missouri. And these have been seen on television and in the newspapers. And whereas the Woodstock police are trained to act in a rational, non-military, non-abusive manner, and whereas the Woodstock Town Board wants to assure its citizens that the town does not possess military equipment of the type known to be in use in other jurisdictions, therefore be it resolved that the Woodstock Town Board declares it has never accepted nor will accept or procure military arms and or heavy armor for the police department now or in the future.
Second.
Thank you.
Isn't there another section here?
No, that's the
That's
procurement
the
policy.
That's a different resolution, the bottom one.
Well, Jay, in view of the fact that Missouri is a town of about 20,000, they say, that little town of Ferguson, and they have $4 million worth of equipment from the government, I applaud you. It's ridiculous to have that much armor for such a small town.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy.
One quick announcement.
Yes.
I will be hiking walking the Yankeetown Pond area sometime next week with one of your neighbors. We're trying to arrange a date, so I will just take I needed to, despite the fact that I looked at the maps and the houses and the differentiations between the hiking and the hunting, et cetera, and the borders, it would be good for me to actually, I haven't hiked up there in years, so it would be good to take a personal look. So I will be doing that sometime in the very near future.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, be it resolved to forward amendments to the Woodstock Ethics Law to the Ethics Board for its review and comment.
How we do the bridge?
What was that? No, we built the bridge. Are we building a bridge?
Oh.
Where are we? I just got
Be it
confused.
resolved to authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with Kingston Equipment Rental for replacement of the Chestnut Hill Bridge effective August 14, 2015.
Second.
Okay.
Aye.
When do you think they're gonna start?
It'll be within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And the school district has been notified that they're going to have to modify their school routes, not only there, but also over the Erie Hill Bridge. And they already know about the McDaniel Bridge. Be it resolved to forward amendments to the Woodstock.
Read it first?
I'm sorry?
Don't we have to read it first?
Read what?
the ethics law?
I hope.
No, we're just
I hope-
forwarding.
Really?
Be it resolved to forward amendments to the Woodstock Ethics, amendments of the Woodstock Ethics Law to the Ethics Board for its review and comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Nay,
One nay.
I think we ought to have the marked up version before we send it off to the ethics board, so the town board understands what the changes are. So I vote against forwarding it this time.
Oh, okay. Well, if you had asked me, I would have gone through it. Okay.
Well, I think the proper approach is to have a marked up version, so we can see what the original law is and what the changes are. I mean,
Well,
this is,
I absolutely agree. When you come to the public, yes, of course.
well, the board has to look at this too before it comes to the public, and we don't have it.
Well, it's because this was something that we looked at months and months and months ago.
Well, it's no excuse for not having it now marked up.
So be it. Be it resolved to amend the town's procurement policy with the addition of the following language to the end of guideline 1. Quote, subdivision 16 of general municipal law, section 103, adopted August 1, 2012, relating to contracts let by the United States or any agency thereof, and any state or any other political subdivision or district therein shall apply until its August 1, 2017 scheduled expiration. Give me a second, I'll explain all this. I'll try anyway. This is a memo from the Office of the New York State Comptroller. General Municipal Law, Section 103 is that section of the law which has to do with procurement. And up until August 1, 2012, it had 15 subdivisions, and they added a 16th subdivision. We're all familiar with the term of taking things off county bid or buying items off of state bid, which means that these were contracts that were already led by the state or the county, and because they were already led by them, that if we wanted to buy merchandise off of those contracts, that we could without having to go to bid, because they had already gone through the bidding process for us. Well, this extends that to the federal government, the United States government, and also to any agency thereof, and any state or any other political subdivision or district therein. So presumably, I mean, this could also extend itself to, contracts let by the state of Nebraska. Now, how does this apply to us? This is really something that would apply in almost all circumstances to the highway department and the purchase of highway materials. And no, they very likely will not be buying things from contracts let by the state of Nebraska. That's an extreme example. But it does allow them to look into contracts let by the United States or other municipalities around the state of New York, which is where this would more, particularly apply. So that's what it is. It's just really amending our existing procurement policy to take in this new subdivision 16 of the general municipal law.
This is recommended by the controller?
Yes. That's the whole matter.
I believe it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This allows us to buy F-15s now, right?
They call it they call it the piggybacking law. And that's close. So, all in favor?
Aye.
I think that's all our business.
Now, are you, if we do get those bidding documents in Friday, or they?
We will schedule a special meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are you all
yeah.
available next week?
Pretty much.
sometime?
I'm home with Marcia, and I have about a 2-hour window I can.
Yeah, how's she doing?
You're doing better.
Yeah, I heard the first week's the toughest.
The toughest, yes. Well, she's up and around a little bit more now. With a walker, but up and around. She had a hip replacement. I'm wondering.
So, good.
So, we're soon coming up on budget time, just to let everybody know.
On what time?
Budget time. A budget must be, a tentative budget must be presented to the town board no later than October 5. And I've started going to work on it in very rough outlines. I've not yet distributed the budget sheets to all the independent departments, but I will be. Jay, as my
Careful.
colleague on the bargaining committee with our two unions sometime in the next week or so. We'll be having a conversation with them about wages for 2015. Of course, that will have an effect on the budget. And sometime I'll have a little conversation with you prior to that meeting, and then we'll sit down with the respective unions and see what we can arrange with them. I had said earlier this year that I felt very confident that we will meet, well, let me phrase it this way. We will not have to adopt legislation to override the tax cap. I feel very confident about that. That being said, I don't want anyone to feel misled about the tax cap, the so-called 2% cap, that the 2% cap necessarily caps taxes at 2%. There are formulas that have just recently been released by the state of New York, which will affect our taxing. And so, although we will fall within the tax cap, I'm not saying that we will necessarily fall under a 2% tax increase. So, just so that there's no surprise
Well, they
when
put
that
in
time
the,
comes.
they put in the rate of inflation and
Which
various
this year is
things.
actually not 2%, it's 1.56.
So there's different things they put into the formula, and that's how they come up with their so-called 2% tax cap.
So, that is all I can think of.
So I have
Anybody else got any? Move to adjourn?
second.
All in favor?
Uh,